Hey guys, Zen here, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going over another custom set created by none other than Cuptinice again, shout out to them, and they did another phenomenal job. This is honestly extremely impressive. At this rate, I kind of just want to see their sets instead of Dina's, but you know, I'll take both at this point. So they created Gen 3. Like they did Gen 2, if you haven't seen that, check out the channel, it's a phenomenal set, but this is going to be entirely Gen 3. Again, shout out to Cuptinice. We're doing this live review. Primordial Clash. I'm honestly way more impressed that I pronounced that correctly. And there's 3 packs like Genetic Apex. With that, let's go into the first slide. Hello, this is from, the creator, Cuptinice. This is my concept for cards based on the Hoenn region. The cards will be organized by Pokedex number instead of types. So we're going to be going in order of the number, not type. So if you're like, where are the fire types? Just wait. Okay, calm down. Stop yelling at me. There might be attacks that are too strong or too weak, and they are open to suggestions and comments. Just like before, no need to get super negative. If you feel like something's a bit too busted, say it. Give a couple suggestions here and there. That's what we're doing. We're just trying to be creative and have fun here in the community. With that, don't forget to like the stream, or Wigglytuff is gonna stare at you. It's stuck in my head at this point. Let's get into it. We have Trico, Grovyle, and Septile right here. Honestly, phenomenal art straight off the bat. 60 HP Trico, quick attack, does 10 more damage if you flip heads. Not too bad. We have Slicing Blade. Honestly, this Trico might be the best grass starter because if I'm not mistaken, every single grass starter is, what are they? They're just 2 energies to deal damage. So having one, except the Snivy promo. This is pretty fire. And then the Slicing Blade for Grovyle. Honestly, Trico's probably my favorite starter from Gen 3. So let's see what Septile does at 140 HP, 80 damage, strong slash, discard a random energy from your opponent's active. Okay, I gotta ask Cuptinice real quick. Did you create these before Shining Revelry or after? Because that sounds a whole lot like Beedrill EX. So regardless, it feels super viable. Okay, I was about to say, because some of your work was created before, and I was like, how do you guys get it before they do? Just like the May with the TRG, for those of you that know. All right, let's move on to what I can only presume is the EX. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's not a top deck, but it feels like it. It really does. The art, the whole card is phenomenal. How is this not real? At HP 170, Powerful Storm, 20x. This attack does 20 more damage times the amount of energy attached to all your Pokemon. Oh my God. For only 2 energy, guys. I don't think you understand how chaotic that is. Oh my God. This is like Celebi, but better. Imagine Superior. Yeah, nothing but grass types. Oh my God. I was thinking, imagine Leafeon. A Leafeon and Erica's, and you just keep giving the energy to your Leafeon over and over. And then when it's time, you retreat into your Septile and you just start going crazy, bro. This is insane. I love this. This is peak design. I don't know how strong this would be, but just the design in itself is a 10 out of 10. I'll say 10 out of 10, hands down, no questions. All right, this line, Torchic 60, Ember 20, Combustion 90, Heat Beak 40, flip a coin if heads, the opponent's active Pokemon is now burnt. Love that. Don't really love the 3 energy for it. However, it does make sense. Okay, and then Blaze Kick, you don't flip a coin, it automatically burns your opponent's active Pokemon. So kind of fire. Not gonna lie, no pun intended. And then 150 HP, nothing crazy. Retreats for 2 here, everything else retreats for 1. I guess it's time to see the EXs. Here we go. Oh my God, bro. I might just have to keep doing this. This is amazing. Blazakin EX, 170. The full art is astounding. Explosive Kick for 2 fire and 2 colorless, 120 plus. Flip a coin for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 20 more damage for each head. So it's almost like Celebi, if you think about it, but instead of it being 50 for all energy, it's only fire energy and it's 20 extra. So that's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. All right, let's see what else we got. See what else we're cooking with. We got the Mudkip here, Mud Slap, Marsh Top, Mud Shot. This attack also does 10 damage to a random benched Pokemon on your opponent's side. Oh, I like that. Ooh, and then Earthquake. Discard the top card of your deck. Honestly, with the way water is, I feel like this is super appropriate. I feel like losing your cards, this is pretty good. I think this Swampert is super balanced, and I love the art. The art is so good. It depicts the water type, but also the whole muddy terrain in almost every single photo. This is pretty solid. And now it's time for the Swampert. You know what time it is. We're adding the top deck. The Swampert EX, 180 mud shot, 30 damage. All right, Palkia, move aside. There's a new sheriff in town, and he's got orange cheeks. And then we got strong arm impact, 130 plus. You may choose to do 30 more damage. If you do, discard the top 2 cards of each player's deck. Oh my goodness, so we're milling? We're milling decks. 2 cards off of mine and my opponent's deck? That's insanity. I think that's way too aggressive, but also I'm a huge fan. I can't lie. I'm a huge fan of that. Really good. All right, next up is a Poochyena, Gnaw off. Flip a coin if heads, do 10 more damage, 20 plus. Hustle Bark, 100 HP. If your opponent has any Pokemon EX in play, all of your Pokemon's attacks cost. This looks so familiar. Are you the one who created this? I feel like I might have made a similar, or I've definitely seen a similar, it might be an actual ability from the official TCG, but it seems super realistic. So I like that. Pitch Black Fangs, 60 damage, 2 colorless energy. You could essentially slot Mightyena into any deck. I'm a huge fan of that. Oh, this guy, Lenoon, dash attack. This attack does 40 more damage to one of your, or just 40 damage. Oh, this is a sniper attack. You can put into any deck. And then the Gnaw, not too bad. Also, do not skip out on the retreat cost of Lenoon here. Lenoon, actually, for those that are cultured, it retreats for free. So kind of great. You can bring it in, snipe, and then just bring it right back out. It's basically Rotom, but stronger, better looking. All right, skipped a bit. We have Wormpole here. Poison Sting, flip a coin if heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Not too bad. Bug Bite, 40 damage. And then Beautifly, Drain Pour, 70, heal 40 damage from all of your Pokemon is insane. Oh, dude, that might be a little too much. That's Butterfree. Go on vacation and never come back. We're turning that canon episode where Butterfree is set free and they never return. But the reason is because Beautifly exists. This is insane. Then we have Cascoon here. Hardened. This Pokemon receives 20 less damage. Not too bad. And then Twilight Poison. 70. Your opponent's active Pokemon's now poisoned. I think Dustox and Beautifly are actually super good. Personally, I like Dustox more because this is super effective into, yup, you guessed it, Darkrai. Then we got Lotad, Water Gun, 20. Wave Splash, Lombre, not too bad. And then into, ooh, look at that full art, guys. So far, we've only seen a couple full arts, aka farts. And I think the Ludicolo is my favorite. All of your Pokemon get plus 10 HP, Vibrant Dance. Throw on a couple capes and you're going crazy. Oh my god, Venusaur might actually survive a Crimson Storm now. Potentially? Am I? Is the math wrong? Nope, they still get shredded, right? Because this only brings it up to, Cape brings it up to no, it does. No, it doesn't. I'm like trying to see if Venusaur could survive a Crimson Storm. It'll never survive. Poor guy. Yeah, unfortunate. Then we have C-Dot. Absorb 10 damage for, or heal 10 damage for this Pokemon. It does 10. And then we have Nuzleaf, 1-2 strike, 30 plus, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 20 more damage. Not too bad. And then we got Shiftry, which, if you didn't know, one of my favorite designs from Gen 3. I really loved this thing. I was disappointed in how lackluster it was and it felt to battle with. However, the design of this Pokemon was one of my favorites. I don't know why, because Seedot and Nuzleaf are kind of derpy. But the Shiftry, loved Shiftry's design. Wicked Wind, 70 damage. Flip a coin if heads. Your opponent can't play any trainer cards. Oh, just trainer cards. Not even just like support cards. It's like just trainer cards at all. You can't Pokeball. You can't Nurse Joy. You can't. You know what? Throw in the fact that they can't concede. Let's make that a thing. You flip heads, you have to force them to play out the entire game. Oh man. Then we got Talo with the claymation stuff. Honestly, this is quite unsettling. Double Peck, 10x, flip 2 coins. This attack does 10 damage times the number of heads. And then we have Aerial Ace, 50. During your opponent's next turn, they can't retreat. I'm a fan of this. You guys like the Talo art? I don't know, something about claymation kind of just like I'm just like waiting for it to tilt its head and like wink at me, you know? Moving on, we have Wingle with another full art. Collect, draw a card. This is a winged Meowth, if you will. And then we have Pelipper here, which can fly for 60 damage. Flip a coin if heads. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. Okay, I see what you're cooking up here. Also retreats for 1. I don't want to miss out. Oh, the Swallow. It retreats for free. I can't believe I skipped out on that. Let me make sure everything else. Yeah. So only the Swalot gets a free retreat cost. I feel like those are very important to talk about because in the game, retreating for free is just like super valuable. Amazingly valuable. It just saves energy. It's a very good thing to have. Oh my, you're throwing in shinies. I completely forgot. Shout out to Cuptinice again. I'm going to throw, you know what? I'll wait for the top deck because I think it's going to be coming up. We might just do top deck sound bites for every single EX. We'll see. Ralt's here. 60 HP, memory skip. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks. During your opponent's next turn, they can't use that attack, that Pokemon. You guys know how strong that is? You guys understand how strong that is? We can literally put this up against a Giratina and say, hey, chaotic impact. You can't do that. And then we have Curly here that says calm mind. Heal 10 from this Pokemon. But also, this evolves into Galade. So think about that. You could also use this in a Galade deck. It's actually super impressive. Moving on to what I believe is the EX right here. Beautiful stuff. All right. We have Gardevoir EX. I don't know how to say it actually. And the more I say it, the more I feel like I'm mispronouncing it. 170 HP. Swelling Pulse 100 plus. If this Pokemon was healed during this turn, this attack does 40 more damage. Oh my goodness. Amazing. So like Potions and Nurse Joys would go crazy with this. Shamans would go crazy with this. Wigglytuff would go insane with this. Honestly, kind of amazing. But let's really talk about the shiny art. The shiny art is astounding. The way you made it look so effortless and like authentic and flawless is insane. Honestly, Dina, if you ever do watch any of these videos and you're watching the Cuptinice review sets, hire them. Get them on board if you haven't reached out to them. Join the Discord. You can find their name. Honestly, this is really cool. This is really good stuff. All right, Surskit here. Lunge 30. Flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing. Go anybody. And then we have a Masquerade. Struggle Bug 50. Move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their bench. I feel like we need more effects like this. I really feel like this effect needs to be a thing, you know? Oh, if you guys want to see like the full set as well as everybody else's custom cards, just join the Discord. It's all over Discord. Shroomish is next. We have Lunge. It's the same thing. And then we have Counter. If this Pokemon was damaged by an attack during your opponent's last turn, this attack does that much more damage. Oh man, that's crazy. But it says here, by an attack. So Darkrai's ability doing 20 damage would do absolutely nothing. It doesn't count towards this. So that's something to note. It's very important. I'm just going back to see if I miss any more retreat costs. Oh my God, this thing's adorable. This thing's adorable. Slackoth, Yawn, flip a coin. If heads, both active Pokemon are now asleep. I like that. Everyone's sleeping out here. Then we have Vigoroth, which you could evolve on Curve if they're still asleep and then hit them with a Slashing Claws. Pretty impressive. And then we have another one right here, Slacking Route 60 plus. This is just baby Slacking. This attack does 20 more damage for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So max, you can do 120 with this for 3 energy. And then we have Born to Slack, Slacking EX 190. If your opponent has no Pokemon EX in play, this Pokemon can't attack. Oh, dude, I love that. You know, listen, that's a pretty solid one. I feel like I made something very similar to this, so I super appreciate the very similar ability because like it feels authentic to the lore of Slacking, unless you guys think otherwise. You know, I think Slacking, he slacks a lot. Exactly. Born to Slack is so great. Great Swing is 150 for 2 energy. Discard an energy from this Pokemon. Oh, even more of a hindrance. And it does retreat for 3. That is pretty good. And then we're going into Nincada, Dig, flip a coin. If heads, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage onto this Pokemon. It does 10 damage. Ninjask, 30 damage. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck. But note, it retreats for free, guys. And then we have Sheninja, which is Empty Shell ability. If this Pokemon is knocked out, your opponent can't take any Oh my God, this is so good. What do you mean? This is so good. This is insane. So we can hit them with something that they don't get. I kind of want Gen 3 to be the next set, to be honest, because if we get something like this, it would be so troll. It would be so good. It's a Pokédoll. It is. It's so good. I think this is... Okay, so we did this previously with the Johto set, and we said the Quagsire line was the best in terms of effects that we would absolutely want to see. So far, from what I've seen of this Hoenn set, I think Sheninja has the coolest ability and effect that I would really want to see. I don't know how it gets a 0 weakness as well, but listen, I'm not mad at it, you know? All right, moving on to Whismer. Push down for 10. Your opponent switches their active Pokemon with one of their bench. I'm assuming they decide. And then we have Mega Impact for Loudred, deals 60 for 3 energy. And then we have Exploud, Mega Throw 100. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, we're doing 160, boys. Also the full art, huge fan. 160 for 4 energy is kind of crazy. I honestly think you run this with like a Manaphy deck or even a Dialga deck, because then this thing is just coming in and slapping everything. Silly. Oh my God. But Manaphy would allow you to recover with Irida. I don't know if it's better than Meowscarada because it does require a ton of energy. Yeah, nothing is surviving this Exploud. All right, Makuhita, surprise attack, 40, flip a coin. Tails, it does nothing. Hariyama, huge favorite from Gen 3 for fighting Pokemon. This thing carried me straight through the Pokemon League the first time I played Sapphire. All of your Pokemon take 10 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. Arm thrust practice. Does this stack? Does this stack? Because if you have 2 Hariyamas on bench, things are going up pretty crazy. Oh my goodness. Things would be getting pretty insane relatively fast. However, it does retreat for 3. So note that. Skitty here, call for family. We know what that does. And then we have double slap here, 40x, flip 2 coins. This attack does 40 more damage for each heads. Respectable. I like Delcatty too, to be honest. And oh my God, another shiny, you guys. Dude, this Sableye shiny is so good. Damage collection. Choose one of your opponent's benched Pokemon that has damage on it and move half of its damage to the defending Pokemon rounded down. Rounded down, what does that mean? What is rounded down? I mean, obviously I know what rounded down means, but like, how does it actually work? That's the thing that's not connecting in my head. Oh, interesting. Oh, you guys are right. It is like Bidoof. Never mind. I know exactly what it does. All right, Mawile, 70 HP, chomp down. And it's a psychic type, but I'm assuming because it's fairy, which is funny because it's actually weak to metal. So if you play this Mawile versus the metal Mawile, the metal Mawile is stronger. Flip a coin. If heads, discard a random card from your opponent's hand. You'll love to see it. I really hope there's an EX for Aggron, but you know, I'll be happy regardless. All right, Aaron, Aaron. Self-charge. Take a metal energy from your energy zone and attach it to this Pokemon. You can put this in a non-metal energy, like type deck, to be honest. All right, Larian, Steel Tackle for 2 metal and 1 colorless does 70, and then Aggron is 140 with Merciless Strike. It's 2 metals and 2 colorless, 100 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any damage on it, it's 160. Oh no. Dare I say it, guys? Dare I say Darkrai Aggron is the new meta? All you have to do is Darkrai Dawn onto your Aaron, use self-charge, use it again, evolve, and then that's it. You're destroying everything, bro. Oh, it's actually crazy. But you need to get the self-charge off twice with Aaron, and you could run it with Darkrai. But I don't actually know if that's the best case scenario, you know? This is pretty cool. I'm a huge fan. Oh, we got another EX. Metatite, Chop, 40 damage, and then we have Metacham EX, 140, Master Strike, 80 plus, 2 fighting energy, 1 colorless, retreats for 1. Where'd you find the full art? I struggled finding a decent full art image for Metacham, and you found one that's really good. All right, if this Pokemon has a karate belt, what? Hold on, I'm sorry, guys. I just had a... What is happening with my brain? If this Pokemon has a karate belt card attached to it, this attack does 60 more damage. So I'm assuming there's a new tool. You got new tools. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. We are not even halfway there, guys. There's so much more to go over. All right. Electrike, Thunderfang, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Awesome. Assault Laser. The art is phenomenal. 50 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon has Pokemon tool card attached to it, this is... Oh my God, if they have it. Oh, dude, this one-shots a Rocky Helmet Drud. I love that. I love that. This is crazy. This is so good. And then we have more full arts. Plusle. Plus damage. If Minun is on your bench, this attack does 50 more damage. Hold on, this stacks, you guys. Holy crap, this stacks. This might be the most broken thing we're seeing today. Hold on. Because if they're on your bench, you could have 2 Minun. I'm assuming it stacks. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. This does not stack. You don't think so? All right. Negative discard. Flip a coin until it gets tails. For each heads, discard a random card from your opponent's hand. I need this and Team Rocket Grunt in every single deck list together. I love this. This concept. Again, Dina, if you want to take more concepts like May, This is a great one to take. This is a great one. But also, can we talk about the full arts real quick? This is so cute. This is so adorable. All right, then we got Vulbe Beat, Signal Beam 30. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Then we have Vulcan Beat 40x. The attack does 40 damage for each Vulbe Beat you have in play. And then we have Roselia, Sleep Powder 10. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Not too bad. And then we have Roserade. Do we already have Roserade in the game? I think we do. If your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition, this attack does 50 more damage. Yeah, we have the one that actually poisons, don't we? That's pretty good. Gulpin. Drool for 20. And then we have Swallot, Devouring Mouth. I love this art. Actually, you popped off with this art. 40 plus. If this Pokemon has more energy attached than your opponent's active Pokemon, this attack does 60 more damage. Interesting. If you go first, you might not be able to do that, can you? However, if you have something that self-charges and Dawn, you might be able to pop off. The art is adorable though. Carvana, Sharp Fang for 20, and then Sharpedo, great art again. Aqua Impact for 1 energy is pretty good. 40 plus. This attack does 20 more damage for each colorless energy in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. That's pretty good too. We're getting some more of these. I'm a huge fan. Whaillord. Oh, dude, this is, you can slot this into any deck. This is a Yan Mega, guys. All right, think of it like that. You have Surf here, which does 60 damage for 3 colorless, and then we have Hydro Pump. This attack does 30 more damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. Listen, if Misty ever had a Pokemon to be used on, or even Manaphy, Whaillord is insane. Albeit, I feel like the HP could be better. Like, I genuinely want it more. So 130 at 4 energy, is it though? Those 30 more. Oh, you're right. 130 at 4 energy is crazy. Oh my. Oh, look at this so sad Numl, bro. What'd you guys do to this Numl? 70 HP, that's pretty solid. For Singe, 10. Flip a coin if heads, they're burned. Hammer up, 110 HP. Explosive Jet, you know this thing ain't fast. 3 retreat costs, 50x. Discard as many fire energy attached to this Pokemon as you'd like. This attack does 50 more damage than number of energies you discarded this way. We don't have this effect in the game yet, but I really would like this. I really would like this. All right, then we have Toqual here. Fire Spin, 100. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. Ooh, it doesn't say fire energy, so you might be able to get away with that if you had more energy, but you know, it's not too bad though. It'd be very hard to make this work. This feels like the Paldean Tauros, the fire Paldean Tauros. It's not that, it's a bit lackluster. And they do it for a reason for fire types. It makes sense. We have Spoink here. The defending Pokemon is now confused. No damage, Psybeam. And then we have Grumpig. Tricky Steps. 40 damage. You may move an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon to one of their opponent's bench Pokemon. Honestly, this single ability or the effect would give so much more playability and like creativity when it comes to deck building that I really hope we get something like this. What do you guys think? All right, next up is Spinda and Trapinch. We have Spinda for Teeter Punch, 40 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. And we have Trapinch for Gnaw. However, Trapinch does evolve into somebody, you know, a favorite Pokemon, a fan favorite, if you guys will. So don't forget to like the video and the stream and everything else. Let's jump right into it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful. This is astounding. This, from the rainbow border to the actual EX, we have been deprived of dragon type EXs. This thing looks amazing. Let's talk about Verbrama real quick. 90 HP, grass and fighting, dragon breath, 50 damage. Flip a coin if heads. The defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. Respectable. I mean, that's the word. You may discard a grass energy and a fighting energy attached to this Pokemon. We're reading Flygon EX's attack now, Flying Beatdown. If you do, the defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. So it gives you an option to discard, and if you do, you can then retreat the following turn for 1 energy and probably slap them with anything else, right? It does not work with Leafeon. Leafeon only works with other grass types, you guys. And the rainbow border is amazing. I think, and that's what I'm hoping for. Like, I really want them to give us dragon type EX Pokemon, but I feel like they might do that in a mini set where the only Pokemon that they're giving us are going to be dragon type EXs. So that way they kind of force us to build dual energy decks, if you will. All right, next up is Cacnea. Swagger for 10. Flip a coin if heads, discarded energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Then we have Cactturn here, Pin Missile, 30x. Yo, shout out to you, Mooney, and everyone else who keeps doing that. I'm sorry, so many people keep asking. I feel like I put it in the title. These are all custom cards, guys. Flip 3 coins. This attack does 30 damage times the number of heads. Cactturn is also a fan favorite of mine. All right. Ooh, another one, Altaria EX. Look, we just talked about getting more dragon type EXs. That'd be amazing. Swablu's normal type, colorless. Peck for 20, and then we have Humming Heal. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. Real quick sidebar here, guys. Altaria EX and Gardevoir EX. You know the Gardevoir EX we just talked about that does more damage if it was healed with that same turn? It's kind of great. Also, Altaria EX here literally counters Darkrai. It says, hey, Darkrai, that's cute. Let me show you something real quick. I'm not against it. Huge fan. And then we have Light Pulse for 80. It's metal and water energy. I mean, at that point, you could run Shaman, though. Not really, because Shaman is only 10 HP recovery, right? It is a basic, and Shaman kind of stinks in terms of attacking. This thing has no weakness. It's a stage 1 with massive HP, and I think the damage on this is kind of better. All right, ooh, no, moving on. We got Zangoose here, 2 colorless. Drag off, switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. This attack does 40 damage to the new active Pokemon. And then we have Swiper. How does it sound from the anime? Swiper, something like that. Anyway, 90 HP, crosscut, 20 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, so like stage 1, stage 2, this attack does 40 more damage. That's pretty good, actually. Ooh, the drag off is crazy. Like, I think Zangoose and Swiper. Okay, so these two, and then the other Pokemon I was talking about earlier, the Sheninja. So far, these 3 have the best effects that I've seen so far. I am a huge fan. The drag off a little bit more than the crosscut, but the Sheninja, absolutely no questions. All right, let's see here. Lunatone, Moon Kinesis. Colorless energy. This attack does 20 damage times the amount of psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. Interesting. Maybe with Gardevoir, baby Gardevoir. And then we have Soul Rock here on energy. Hold on. Can we appreciate how both of these have the little bug critters in them? This is adorable. Attach a psychic energy from your discard pile to one of your Lunatone. Oh, dude, you could just ramp up the Lunatone while Soul Rock is at the. Oh, this is all right. I see you cooking. And then we have a Barboach and Wishcash. Mudslap for 30, and then Mudshot, flip a coin of tails. This Pokemon also does 20 damage to itself. If heads, it does 50 more damage. Respectable, and it retreats for 2 or 3. 3, I can't count. Corphish, 70 HP, Vice Grip for 40. Rodont, Rampaging Hammer for 120, and it can attack the following turn. I also really like the full art here. It gets the whole lobster. Is it a lobster? I don't think it's a lobster. Rogue Pokemon. It gets his whole body in frame, so I think it's more menacing this way. Next, we have Baltoy here. Spinning Attack 20, Claydol 100, Self-Destruct. This Pokemon also does 100 to itself. Oh man, but if you have a cape, you could do this twice. I'm not mad at this, actually. I'm not mad at this at all. Oh, we're getting fossils too. Root Fossils into Leap, Seed Bomb for 2 energy, 60, 1 colorless, 1 grass. And then Cradilly, 140, Miasma Wind. Why'd I say it like that? Miasma. Miasma Wind. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I'm doing my best here. 70 plus. If your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition, it does an additional 70. Graphia, anybody? Listen, guys, I'm doing my best here. Words are hard. Okay. I think this is pretty solid if you throw something that can like sleep from the bench, Hypno, poison from the bench. I think this is pretty good. It does retreat for 3 though, unfortunately. And then we have Anorith, X Scissor, 30 plus, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 30 more damage. And then we have Mac Claw. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponents. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Each of their Pokemon for 2 energy. Even if they're on the bench, you're free Hitmonleeing everything on the board. That's pretty good. And it has a really strong HP stat to boot. Mac Claw is pretty solid. All right. Ooh, another EX. We have Feebas here. Leap Out. Switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. Not too bad. I mean, it's literally Magikarp. And then Milotic. Let's see if Milotic is stronger than Gyarados. 160 HP. This Pokemon takes minus 30 damage from attacks from your opponent's EX Pokemon, and it has Aqua Swirl for 2 energy. It deals 80 damage. Personally, I think this is better than Gyarados. I think this is a phenomenal replacement for Gyarados. Gyarados who? We don't need him. We need Milotic. Next up, we have Cast Form, Weather Reading, 70 HP. For colorless, if you have 4 more item cards in your discard pile, ignore all energy in this Pokemon's attack costs. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. So you can hit a free Weather Force if you've used, I don't know, 2 Pokeballs and 2 X speeds. Well, that's kind of crazy. That means you can attack turn 1. Yo, I just kind of want to run a Cast Form solo deck. Are you serious? That's all I want to do. Nothing but item cards. All right, Cast Form Sunny Day. High Pressure Blast, 90. Discard 1 of your Pokemon in play. If you can't, this attack does nothing. Oh, that's kind of scary. If you discard, do you lose prize points? I think that's my biggest question here. Also, both these Pokemon retreat for free, so that's very important to note. Then we have Rainy Form. Rainfall, this attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Then we got Frosty Form, Snowy Form. Frosty Typhoon, 70 during your next turn. This Pokemon can't use Frosty Typhoon. Again, they both retreat for free. We have Kecleon. Tongue Smack. Sir, please don't. This is a Wendy's. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, again, with the evolutions, guys, this is kind of fire. The evolutions are kind of crazy. Like the fact that we have like these effects would go so hard in Pokemon Pocket. And then we have Shuppet here. Enveloping Shadow, 10 damage. Flip a coin if heads during your opponent's next turn. They can't play any item cards from their hand. Then we have Banette here. Oh, I love the Banette fart, the full art right here. Poltergeist, 50 plus. Your opponent reveals their hand. This attack does 20 more damage for each trainer card you find there. So not only do you get information, but you also get an advantage from them holding their trainer cards. Actually insane. Right? Actually insane. And then we have Tropius here. Tropic Breeze, 80 damage. Move all energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. Interesting. I'm not sure if you would actually want to do that unless you're like building this up to give it to something else, right? We have Chimecho here. Bell of Silence during your opponent's next turn. None of their Pokemon with abilities can attack. Oh, so this just counters Darkrai and Giratina. Do you know how silly it is, guys? Do you know how silly it would be to just win a game from your opponents automatically conceding because you played a Chimecho with Bell of Silence? Is it just me? Dude, that would be awesome. All right, then we have Absol here, HP 100, Cursed Slug, 60 plus. If your opponent has 3 or fewer cards in their hand, this attack does 60 more damage. Okay, I guess we're hand tracking. And oh my God, another one, guys. Look how amazing. Look how beautiful this Gly EX looks. It looks so real and authentic, man. So we have Snorunt with Icicle 20, and then we have Gly EX, 140 HP, stage 1, instant freeze, 1 water, 3 colorless, 100 damage, flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon cannot attack. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so good. This is so cheese. I love it. And then the rainbow, of course. I'm a huge fan of the rainbow. It seems very symmetrical. We have Spheal, Powder Snow, sleeps the opponent. Celio, 100, 3 energy, 1 water, 2 colorless, 70, and then Walrein. Frigid Fangs, baby. It retreats for 3, 100 damage during your opponent's next turn. Pokemon that have 3 or less energy attached. I'm sorry, what? That's crazy, bro. This is so good. This is insane. During your opponent's next turn, Pokemon that have 3 or less energy can't attack. That's going into every single control deck ever with Team Rocket grunts. Every Pokemon that needs only 2 energy to attack are already at a disadvantage with this card. Oh, dude, I love this. I love this. I can't say that enough. Okay, so this is getting added to the list of card effects that I like. Zangoose, Dragoff, Sheninja's ability, and then Walrein. This effect goes hard. Clamperl, evolutionary advantage. If you go second, this Pokemon can evolve during your first turn. Wait, what? Wait, excuse me, what? What? This is crazy. This card is insane. Clamperl, we're gonna skip Huntail. What does Huntail do? Dangerous Bite, 40 if your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon. This attack does 40 more damage. Okay, so you can just win if you Misty and go second with Huntail. However, more likely, Gorbice, I don't know how to pronounce it. Deflecting Splash, 30 damage. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from evolution Pokemon. I don't know, they're both pretty good. This seems like a very cheeky kind of card. Not gonna lie, pretty cheeky. Oh, we got Bagon here, which means we're probably getting another EX. Dragon type Relicanth, 80. During your opponent's next turn, your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 more. Deep Sea Pressure for 30. And then we have Love Disc here. Heart Wink. 30 damage. Flip a coin if heads. Your opponent can't draw a card at the beginning of his or her turn. Next turn. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Bagon Dragon Rage. Colorless energy. Flip 2 coins. If either of them are tails, this attack does nothing. Oh, that stinks. But I am so... Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Shelgon, 100 for Fire, Water, Heavy Impact, 70. And then we have Salamence EX, 180. Savage Wing, 100 plus for Fire, Water, and 2 colorless. Discard as many fire energy attached to this Pokemon as you like. This attack does 40 more damage for each energy you discarded this way. And then the rainbow border, just phenomenal. Which means I think we are almost to the legendaries and finished with Hoenn, you guys. And then we're going to go into the trainer cards. This is exciting. Beldum, we have Core Beam for 30. Discard a metal energy from this Pokemon. Probably don't want to do that. That's like Charmander's Ember. Metal Claw, 50 for a metal and colorless, 90 HP, nothing crazy. And then we have Metagross. Your active Pokemon has no retreat cost. Oh, bro, put this in any deck and just put it on the bench. Yes, it takes a long time to evolve, but if the other Pokemon that you have are EXs, you never have to worry about losing energy. I don't know. I think this is kind of crazy. And it does pretty good damage too. The full art's really nice too. All right. Ooh, we got the new Reggies, the Golems. Regirock has the ability Land Maker. Flip a coin. If heads, take a fighting energy from your energy zone and attach it to this Pokemon. If tails, your turn ends. That kind of stinks. I mean, you could pretty much just do that at the end of your turn, right? After you attach energy to it, if you have nothing else to do. It's a form of energy ramp. I'm not upset with it. I can respect it. Then we have Regice. 120 Icy Bind. If either Regirock or Registeel is in play, this Pokemon's attacks is reduced by a water energy. So it's only 2 colorless. However, if I have both of them, is it only 1 energy? Confused. If I have all 3 of them, is it a free attack? It doesn't stack. Direction's unclear, guys. All right, then we have Registeel, 120 HP, triple laser, 60 plus. If Regirock or Regice are on your bench, this attack does 60 more damage. Oh, these are pretty good. Honestly, these might be better than the current Regis, except for the Regirock. I mean, Bedrock Press is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, we got Latias. Your Latios in play have no retreat cost. Eon Blade does 50 for 2. And then we have Sky Blade for Latias. If your Latias is on your bench, this attack does 50 more damage. 100 damage for 2 is kind of crazy. And oh, here we go, guys. The full art is adorable. Oh my goodness. The immersive is astounding. Okay, so Swelling Power. Once during your turn, you may take a fighting energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your Pokemon, any of your Pokemon. And then the ground slash is 110. Discard a fighting energy from this Pokemon. We have Fighting Ramp. It's taken such a long time, and this isn't a real set, but still, we have Fighting Ramp, at least in our imagination. This is really strong. And it retreats for 3, though. This is going to be the first basic Pokemon EX, I think, other than Lapras, I believe. I could be mistaken. I don't think so. Basic EX Pokemon that retreats for 3. The only other one I think is Lapras, right? And then we got Kyogre EX. The immersive is amazing. Has 2 attacks, Water Pulse, heal 10 damage from each of your Pokemon for each colorless in the defending Pokemon's retreat cost. It does no damage though, so you're literally just healing with that. And then we have Tidal Surge, 120, 2 water and 2 colorless. Not too bad. And both these Pokemon retreat for 3, guys. And then we have Rayquaza EX. Here's a concept that I didn't even think, like I didn't even try to do Rayquaza, so I'm excited. 140 Ozone Wall, baby. Your benched Pokemon take minus 10 damage from attacks and abilities. Darkrai who, guys? I like how a lot of these are just like a slap in the face to Darkrai. Darkrai, you've had your time. Get this man's out of here. I like this a lot. What do you guys think? And the immersive is amazing. I could only imagine going into this card would go crazy. It also retreats for 2. We got Garachi. Garachi here has an ability called Final Wish. Once during your opponent's turn, if your Pokemon would be knocked out by damage from an attack, you may draw a card. Does it just automatically happen if one of your Pokemon gets knocked out? That's not too bad. And then we have Deoxys. This is going to be interesting. 100 HP, form change. Once during your turn, you may discard this card and replace it with another Pokemon from your hand that has the form change ability. All damage and effects will be transferred. Oh, this is kind of sick, guys. Check it out. So we can go from this Deoxys, and if we want to do more damage, we can go into this one, the Attack Deoxys, and do 70 damage. Or if we need to retreat for free, we can go into the Speed Deoxys and then retreat for free. Or if we're looking to frontline, we can go into the Defense Deoxys. Oh, dude, this is a brilliant concept, because what they're not talking about or maybe people don't seem to like, maybe you guys already picked up on it, but I just picked up on it, is the old lady is going to go so hard in this deck, in this Deoxys, because when you discard them, you can just bring them back. They go into your hand and you could do it all over again. This is a brilliant concept. I don't know if it's game breaking though. I think it's pretty balanced. I would love to see this in play actually. And there we go, guys. We have made it to the items. Fossil excavation map. Put a random fossil card from your deck into your hand. You'll love to see it. Great ball. Flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it into your hand. Ooh, that's the part I don't think. Searching your deck. I don't think the game will ever let you search your deck. Maybe with a Great Ball. Then discard a card from your hand. If tails, this card does nothing. Maybe because it's a coin flip, it lets you, but I genuinely don't think the game will ever let you say, hey, search your deck for a specific card because of it being 20 cards as a deck total. But I've been proven wrong before. I didn't think that we were going to get Pokemon with abilities and moves that had effects. So yeah. All right, I'm just going to kick this guy. Sorry, bud. There's a way to like constructive criticism. You're not contributing anything to this stream with your this sucks comments. Like the person took their time to create these cards. So like those types of comments, you know, keep that negativity to yourself, bud. Honestly, if you say, oh, this is kind of busted, you know, you could say stuff like that, but that kind of negativity, I'm sorry, I don't want that here. Yeah, it is. It's rude. It's honestly makes you look bad because like, what are you doing? What? This sucks. This sucks. Like you're a keyboard warrior type energy here. But anyway, I needed to make a mental note to edit this portion out of the video. Going to seamlessly jump right back into it. Then we have Energy Recycler. Take a random energy from your discard pile and attach it to one of your Pokemon. Honestly, a huge fan of that. We need a little bit more ramp. Karate Belt. This attack of the Pokemon this card is attached to. This is the card that Metacham uses, guys. Okay. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to cost 1 less energy. You cannot play this card during your first turn. Okay, that feels appropriate because I was about to say, dude, that's a little crazy. Dude, throw this with Regice though. Regice is about to go crazy. Leftovers. During Pokemon checkup, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot, heal 10 damage from it. Ooh, this is good. That means you're getting plus 20 by the time it's your turn again. And we have the supporters. Honestly, I have to agree with you, Coda. Karate Belt, huge fan of it. I think this would be busted. But the fact that you can't play it on your first turn, I like the fact that you didn't pull a Misty here. All right, Sydney, choose a basic darkness Pokemon in your discard pile and put it into your hand. I wonder what you could synergize that with. BB, choose a random card from your opponent's hand and shuffle it back into your deck. Into their deck, not your deck. I can't read, guys. I was about to say, wait, what? All right, so that's pretty good. It's more disruption, really. And then we have Steven here. During your opponent's next turn, the abilities of their Pokemon in play have no effect. Oh, this is so good. I love the Steven. And we got, this is it. Flannery, attach a fire energy from your discard pile to one of your fire type Pokemon. And Drake, during this turn, attacks used by your dragon Pokemon do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And there you guys have it. This is a full custom set created by none other than the amazing Cuptinice, just like the Johto video. I'll try to put it somewhere up here. You guys, if you haven't seen the Johto, check that one out. This is the Hoenn one. Let me know in the comments, what card effects would you love to see in set A3, because that's right around the corner. But man, this was a crazy set. I think the Dragon EXs are probably what I really want the most, as well as those really cool abilities like Sheninja, the Dragoff from Zangus, and so much more. But there you guys have it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.